For many generations, the American dream has been to own a home. And I think that still exists today, even though it's harder for some of the younger generation because of the cost of housing, the high interest rates, and the unaffordability of housing. Irrespective of that American dream, I believe that the new American dream is to create a legacy of time freedom. Look, the mantra of work hard is good. To be the rugged individualist, to live the American dream of creating your own future, I believe is very, very important. But how do we do that today? Is it the old school of sacrifice, 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 and then maybe someday in the future, maybe when you can retire, to actually live your life of dreams? I think that's wrong. I think it's upside down. In fact, some of the younger generations that are now living their lives are figuring that out. And they're seeing the imbalance of many of those in my generation who thought working hard and sacrificing decade after decade after decade was the right thing to do. Again, there's got to be a balance here. I think we have to be really careful of how society defines success, because that's what leads most of us to do what we do. Again, being disciplined and working hard, that's a good thing. I did the very same thing. I went through school, got the education, got out, worked hard, created the income by sweat and toil, just like you've done, taking risk, but realizing that I was missing out on some key components of my life that I might never get back again. That was my daughter. My daughter who had health crisis of cancer, leukemia at an early age, and epileptic seizures, and then at age 12, a liver transplant. And I'm still thinking, do I still keep trying to build this financial legacy that's so important when the very person, the people right in front of me, I may lose? And I made a decision right then and there that time freedom was more important. Now you got to have both. You've got to have the money, the income, the replacement income, some level of wealth that produces cash flow, irrespective of your need to go to work. And that's what I call creating time freedom. This can be done in anyone's lives and done much earlier than society deems it possible. Society's goal is get you to retirement, 62, 65, 70 years old. My friends, that's too late. Health issues, if we don't even lose friends or the people in our lives that we care about, that's going to happen along the way. Learning to live below one's means is a critical aspect, and our society has talked about you can have anything you want today. Debt is no problem, and debt steals from our future. Debt steals from your future. It steals from this country's future. Living below your means and then knowing what to do with that discretionary capital, that savings capital, that capital that could be invested, that's the key aspect. And many people don't understand how to do that and don't think they can do that. So they abdicate that responsibility to other people and never get that time freedom. Choices and options in life should be the new status symbol. And again, you can't have that without being diligent and being discerning about how to get there. Creating a blueprint is what I love to do. I had to do it myself with the help of other people some 20 years ago when I wanted more time in my life with my daughter. And this works. But you've got to have a blueprint that you can get on board with your spouse, your significant other, and drive it forward. There's no time like now. Waiting till someday when time is better, when you've got more time to devote to this, it'll never happen. If you don't focus on what you really want today, in respect to everything else you're trying to get done in your busy lives, getting time freedom and choices and options will never happen. I've got a new book coming out soon, Scaling Time versus Wealth. This book is available to you free. When it comes out, there'll be an opportunity for you to get a free copy. I ask you to get a copy and read it. Read it with your spouse. Look at the concepts that I have discovered in my own life and also through the hundreds of other couples that we've been blessed to help along the way. These are concepts that will work for you, but you've got to be focused on it. You've got to make a choice and a decision that you're going to live your life differently and not just do the same thing, working harder on that treadmill that really gets you nowhere, but just burned out and tired. It's a time to turn the page and become focused on your time. I'd love to do it with you. Take a look at the book when it comes out. I'll have more on this in the future. Have a great Christmas season and a great new year.